Hello, reader, and welcome to
ReadsomeBooks.
Today is going to be a little bit of an update. I've been reading like crazy this month, and I believe I got like 6 or 7 books done. Something like that. Some of these are small, but like I'm saying is I've been reading. I've not been sticking entirely to my TBR, but I'm doing my best. So come with me, people. Come with me. Sit down. Let me tell you what we're reading. First off, Resident Evil. Based on the games. Some of these are their own original, but let me tell you here, I finished this one up, and man, am I eager to continue on. This book here is based off this video game, the first Resident Evil, and man, I played this way back in the day, and I was completely floored. This is just, it was top notch back then. I couldn't believe what I was playing, and it was so good. This does a fantastic job. So J.D. Perry, she does an amazing job making the video game come to life. So it's like following the characters and their mindset. So it's like, wow, you don't realize just how cool it is to be able to see it from their perspective, not in, polygon game perspective. So yeah, this has been great. It's just fantastic. So you got the second one here. This is the first original Resident Evil novel. And I think J.D. Perry does all of these. I haven't read this one yet, but I'm assuming it's good. That I'm assuming also is Rebecca. It's maybe how she got where she's at, or maybe it's after. So this other book here, The City of the Dead, this is based off of the game Resident Evil 2. This is with Leon and all that. So, man, am I hyped to continue reading that. And this one is Underworld. I'm not sure if that's a game or not. I'm not sure on that. But this might be another original. Yeah, it just says right here an original novel. So that's the original. And this here, Nemesis, Resident Evil Nemesis. And that's based off of the video game. And this is my favorite of at least the trilogy that is on PlayStation 1. Because they have Survivor 2, this game. And as far as I know, there's no book to it. It's like a first person. But it's pretty good. So yeah, I'm taking that down. And this last one is Code Veronica. Of course, it's based off the new game. They just advertised Code Veronica. Did you guys see that? So that game is going to be epic. I saw the trailer. I was like, whoa, all right. I get where you're doing, Capcom. So that's kind of what I'm reading. And that inspired me to go back to the other series that's based off a video game. And that is Splinter Cell, Tom Clancy, Sam Fisher, Third Echelon. I've read maybe 3 or 4 of these, but I didn't complete the series. And I really liked it. It's slow at times because a lot of it's sneaking and getting past stuff and then stunning people and spying. But I read this one here. I read that one you just seen, Operation Barracuda. And this is Checkmate. This one's great as well. And this other one I'm rereading because I want to refresh my memory. So I'm about 110 pages into that one. I wanted to reread this so I can get refreshed, so I can go into this one kind of knowing what happened previous. So this is Conviction, Splinter Cell Conviction, and there's 2 more that's only the audio audiobook. And if you do find the copies, they're like well over $100 and they're really rare. So I'm just going to listen to those audiobook. And then the last one they made was Aftermath, and I purchased that, and that's still coming. So I'm going to be happy to read those there. So what are you guys doing this week, huh? You reading? What books are you reading? And how's life? Alrighty. Let me know. Shoot it down below there. So now I am a little ways in here. The Lost Years, Star Trek, J.M. Dillard. I'm having a blast with this so far. This is what's happening after the 5-year mission, after they come home. And of course, like Captain Kirk he's not having it. He's not the type of guy who wants to settle down. He doesn't want to be no admiral. He wants to be a captain of a ship. And then you see that. And some of the people, some of the guys are parting ways, like Spock. What is McCoy going to do? Are they going to go on another one? And then Spock decides, what is he going to do? He thought he was going to always be working with Kirk, Captain Kirk. But come to find out, the other things are going in place, and so yeah, it's a lot of fun. And man, does J.M. Dillard do a fantastic job in making these characters feel like themselves. Not a lot of authors can do that. Make them characters feel like they are within these pages, and you feel that here. And so I appreciate that, I really do. And that kind of got me into a little bit wanting to go into sci-fi, right? Because I've been into sci-fi before. I love sci-fi. I just got done reading yesterday. Yesterday, I finished book number 1 of the Red Rising series, Pierce Brown. I went into this blindly. I didn't really know what to expect. I was like, okay, it's hyped. I went in with high expectations. I started seeing a lot of like Hunger Games, 1984, George Orwell. I started seeing that. I'm like, oh man, I'm kind of not in the mood for something like this. And then it's like, is this whole series going to be about just them fighting in these? But let me tell you, it grew on me, and I thoroughly started getting locked in. And his prose, they get better and better. And the characters, their development is supreme. You start latching on Darrow and his poor EO, and then now there's this Mustang girl, right? And I liked her character, and I liked how that all unfolded. This is pretty fantastic. I rated it 4 stars. Maybe if I was in a different mood and liking this kind of scenario a little bit more, it would probably been more. But being that the mood I'm in, I just rated a solid 4 stars. But that's still fantastic, and I am highly looking forward to continuing on. That kind of inspired me to want to dabble back into sci-fi. And everyone always talks about Arthur C. Clarke. So I went to a local bookstore downtown called Beers Books. I checked it out. I think they got a new location because this place it was epic. I really liked it there. They had a huge selection of used and new books. And I just looked through some Arthur C. Clarke, and I came across this one here. And this is Reach for Tomorrow. I believe it's just a couple of short stories in here, maybe like 4 or 5 or something like that. Curious to see how he's like, because I haven't really tried Arthur C. Clarke. It's crazy, but yeah, I haven't. So, but what I've read so far, I've read 1 story, and it was fantastic, and I liked it, and it really puts you in the feels. So that was that. Let's talk about Brandon Sanderson. I finished the Mistborn series, Hero of Ages. This was, man, it was such an emotional roller coaster. I could see how people can have mixed feelings on this at times. When people died or when things happened, it just didn't seem like that much of an impact. And when the one character you did like all of a sudden is not there anymore, that sucks. And so think people that you thought they were just nothing have arisen and became something. So there's a lot of like twists and turns in here. So there's a lot of like, I hate it. Why are they doing this? Why is this so slow? Come on. But then at the end, that Brander Lynch came in steady and just blew my hair back again. And let me tell you, I enjoyed it. At the end of everything, just the epicness of the whole series and everything, boom, it had to be a 5 stars at the end of the day, because you have to appreciate what goes behind making a story like this. And you just have to, with the prose, with his timing, impeccable timing, and the writing, it was great. It was fantastic. So despite my complaints, it's still 5 stars, and I would read this again. I took them all down. Mistborn, complete. I now have the Wax and Wayne series. I have the novella of Kelsier I'm going to be reading as well. And so that is that. And this next book caught me by surprise because I didn't know it was going to be this good. I was like, okay, let's just give it a shot. People told me it was about gods and them doing stuff. And I'm like, oh, what are they going to do? Just be floating around, hanging out? And what are they battling against each other? What's happening? I don't understand. So I just kind of went into it blind again. And that is Brandon Sanderson, The Warbreaker. And I was able to find a new copy of the hardcover at Barnes & Noble. I picked that sucker up. You best believe it. This book has surprised me, like, big time. I was like, wait a minute. These characters are amazing. The gods, and they're really not gods. They're just portrayed as such because they die. And if they have like a mission or something they need to say or give, they come back, and they're known as the revived or whatever, and they come back and to remember their tale, and they take lives with breath. And then so many people can have so many breaths in them, but each breath is a soul. So like in order to keep these revived people alive, they have to end up taking the soul of their people. And then once they take it, they're like this lifeless thing. So it's like really, the concept is cool, but really weird. And, overall, I can appreciate it, and the characters that are great. You have the mercenaries. Yes, Ciri is the main girl, and then her sister Viviana. It's crazy. The unfoldings are just. I'm only about like a little over 100 pages, so I'm still wrapping my head over all of this stuff. But yeah, so far it's fantastic. It really caught me by surprise because I was like laughing, and I was like, going through it, right? I was really right there with them. And it's been a fantastic read so far, and I sure hope it continues that way. All right. Let's see here. This was another one on my TBR. This is the Anarchist Cookbook, the third in the series. And we'll see where I'm at. I'm 163 pages into it. And this, to put it on the smell scale, it's got to be around like, I think like a 5.9. So it's like super close to 6. But this has really been good. Dungeon Crawler Carl, it's super funny. Although this one is not quite as funny as the first two. It kind of just keeps getting a little more serious and serious. So I'm chuckling at it a few times, but I found myself laughing more so at Warbreaker than I did the Dungeon Crawler Carl. But it's good. It's a lot of fun. The developing a Mongo and seeing them back in action have been super fun. So this last book we're talking about in the update, The Shadow of the Gods. John Gwynne. Whoa. Okay, this last one is The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. And this is a crazy action-packed book. There's lots of violence He says he very much was inspired by. I gotta take a dump. Whew, I feel better. And I also got a fan going on here because it's a little bit hot. Anyways, I was talking about the book here, Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. Let me know what you guys thought of the first book of this trilogy. I mean, I thought it was very good, right? It was heavily inspired by Vikings, right? So there's a lot of that Viking craziness going on with blood spilling out and stuff. It was good. The excess of violence kind of downplayed it when it was intense moments. The main characters I did appreciate, like Orca. Varg was good. The other one was Elvar. So those are your main characters in the book, and I liked them. I kept on getting confused with Orca and Elvar because their stories were a little bit similar. She was actually trying to take over people who were a part of the Blood Swarm. And so she was a part of that group. And then Orca was like actually with the Blood Swarm, and they were all tainted people from the power of the gods' bones who all battled each other, and all the gods, they ended up just destroying everything. It was a big chaos. But I will continue this. I rated it like a 3.5. Maybe a 3.75. I'm kind of in that range. I did like it. I very much liked it. It was kind of hard to follow it at first. I was like, there's so many things going on. There's so many characters. This person's killing that guy. Who's killing this dude? Why are they dying? And this guy's guts out. So I was like, so sometimes it was a little bit hard to figure out what's happening. But I kind of just slowed down. I was like, all right, let me go back a little bit. Let's look into this. So yeah, and then I started enjoying it a lot more once I started not trying to read it just to finish it, but to read it to figure out what's going on. And I found myself enjoying it a lot more and just enjoying the prose and all that. So that's kind of like my update with my reading. I mean, have you guys read some Arthur C. Clarke? What did you guys think of Red Rising when you read the first one? Did you like it? Are you big Star Wars fans? Because I did start reading the first Timothy Zahn Star Wars again because I want to get into the duology that's after that, which I didn't know, and that's coming. I will show you the book. Hold on. Woo. This video has been a lot of work. All right, yeah. So this is another one I started to read. I totally forgot. This was not on my TBR, but I bit the bullet and I got all three of these in hardback. And then also I figured out by another fellow booktuber told me that there was a duology before this. And then I found out there was another trilogy leading up to this. So I'm like, holy smokes. So that's what I'm on about. I read this. I think I'm pretty far. No, not pretty far. I'm only chapter 3. So 26. So I just started this. And this will be a reread, having a blast with it. I don't know what I'm planning. I still have like 6 more books on my TBR. And it is currently the 15th. So I think I'll be able to read it because I've been reading like a madman. I've been hitting up a lot of used bookstores. Like I said, I've been reading. I haven't really been doing anything else besides that as far as hobbies. I just been reading. I got a bookshelf. You'll see in my shorts. This is kind of my books. I was running out of room, so I really needed to get a shelf. So talking over with my wife, we decided to get a nice one to go into the game room / office / library now. So yeah, I'll be making some videos in there too. I still make videos over here on the couch. This will be more for like reviews and things like that. So I'll have like different settings. This background will be for my will be for I would say my TBRs, my monthly wrap ups. I'll do my reviews over here on the couch, and then I will do my shorts and reading updates in the room. All right, that could change, but that's kind of my initial thoughts. As far as what I have planned for the channel, I'm still going to be trying to do maybe once a month or, once or twice a month, I'll do an update video. I'll be doing shorts in between there because sometimes I just want to just sit down and chat and not have to set everything up because I got my lights here and then I have my camera and then I got this thing plugged in. So there's a lot to set up. So sometimes I just like to just throw my phone out there and just do a short and just tell you about something. So yeah, shorts are great. I like that. And for like the bigger videos like this, of course, I'm maybe going to have maybe 4 or 5 a month, maybe more. And as the channel gets growing, then we'll see what we're going to go from there. Whether we'll do like a book club or all that kind of stuff, that remains to be seen. But honestly, I'm just here to read books, to read the books that I enjoy and to share them with you. And hopefully you can share that enjoyment and just spread the love of reading. You'll never run out of things to read and you'll never read everything. So that's what I like. I like my options because sometimes my TBR, it's huge, but sometimes I'll change it because I read something and I invest time in this and I'm like, oh, okay, I want something else. Give me something different. And then I'll read something different and I'll pick this book up and read it. And then I'll read maybe 50 to 100 pages into it. Like, okay, that's enough of this. And then let me move on to another book. And then I read this book and I'm like, oh, this is great. And then if it really catches my attention, then I'll focus on this book for a while and then I'll come back to these other ones. So that's kind of how I do it. And it keeps my interest going and it keeps me from falling in a slump, because if I just cage myself up to one book, then I feel like not always am I going to be in the mood to read this book. And so that's why I'm like, I want to read, and then you're limiting yourself, right? So what you want to do is not read this book and read this one. And that's fine. Who's here to tell you not to do that? Are you going to forget this one? Is it going to be like a mortal sin? No, it's not. You may forget a few things, but for the most part, you'll remember. And as you read on, you're like, oh, that's happened. And yeah, you may get more out of it if you just read it straight through, and I'll give you that. That's why sometimes I'm like, what the heck is this person's name? Who's that? What happened? But hey, it works for me. It's not going to work for everybody, and I'm not trying to push my opinion on you. You do you. I'm just telling you that, you can come to the dark side over here where we read a lot of books. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out and listening to me ramble on and my house and books. A guy just reading books and talking to you through this camera that I'm looking at, which you were watching. You were a person behind this camera, and I want to say hello. Thank you for spending your time with me. Tell your friends and family I said hi. It's just the way it goes. And they don't know me, but I'm pretty sure they'll care that somebody wants to express their pleasantries to them, right? So think of it like that. Just go and say, this random YouTuber guy said hello. And guys, anything and everything, put in the comment sections down below. Let me know, what you've been reading. What's your update? I know some are reading, classics. So I really love classics. I've already read my classics for this month. That was Fahrenheit 451, and it was great. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, but let me know what you guys read. I think next month I'm going to do a Jane Eyre. I think I might do like Pride and Prejudice, or I could do another Bronte sisters, but I already read Jane Eyre. But did you guys know that there was a prequel to Jane Eyre? About like what happened with his wife that's gone crazy and cuckoo? Let me know. Let me know if you guys are aware that there is a sequel to that. I heard it was very tragic and highly...
Ooh, kissy, love you very lot.
That's what I've heard from Ann Patchett. So yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, comments, do it all. Do the little bell right here. And yeah, let me know what you guys are up to. What's your plans for the rest of this month? The books I've read so far this year, we're halfway through. I've read well over 30 books. And maybe that's another video I can do, you know? Who knows? All right, guys. Toodaloo. Take care. Till next time. All right. Bye.